again everyone, and welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. I was outside earlier this morning and I saw the first butterfly of spring, and it reminded me that I'd bought this set, this beautiful day set with this gorgeous butterfly and this rose, and I hadn't even used it. So it was still brand new in its box. So I've taken off all the backings and put the stickers onto the back of the box, and this is how I store my stamps. I put the stickers on, I take the sticky white piece off the back, and then I just put them over the transfer. What I also like to do is, if I'm trying to work out if a sentiment will fit, I'll take the stamp out and I can use this to sort of measure and gauge if it's going to fit on my card. So that's why I keep them like this. And also it's easy to tell if you've got a stamp missing. So we're going to make a card with the rose flower today. And this is the card we're going to make. Now, I've made a couple of cards like this before, and I've always stamped my backgrounds with the matching ink, but today I decided to use Versamark because I found that the background ink was a little darker than I wanted, whereas Versamark, it always shows through as the same colour as your card, and it was just that bit paler. So for the card today, you're going to need a piece of coloured card, and I've used crumb cake. I've cut it at 11 by 4 1/4 and scored it at 5 1/2. And because it's a horizontal card, I like to cut them this way. Let me find this is where I've scored it, so this is the outside of my card. I like to cut them this way so that when you have them standing, they're less likely to splay and to fall down. See, if you've got them this kind of way, you know, they can, over time, fall down. But I've also cut the same size card in pink pirouette, because I don't know yet which background I'm going to use, and I won't know until I've got the foreground and the flower ready. So I've cut both just to see which colour I want. You certainly don't need to cut both at all. So you need another piece of crumb cake in 3 3/4 by 5, and a piece of Very Vanilla in 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to be one of the layers with the crumb cake on the top, or one of the layers with the crumb cake on the top on the pink. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing you need to do is to stamp the image of the flower, this one. Now, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it with the smoky slate grey or the basic grey. And this is the basic grey and this is the smoky slate. And I decided that I liked the slightly lighter colour. I did try stamping it in pink pirouette, but the edges of the flower just sort of mingled into the colour of the petals. And I didn't want to stamp in black because it was just too dark, but I really liked it stamped in the pale grey. Then you need to colour in your flower, and you can use inks, watercolour crayons. I've used my blends. Sometimes to colour in, I will use an ink pad. Let me find an ink and show you. And I will just use an aqua painter pen and just dip my aqua painter onto the ink on the pad and paint like that. But for these ones, I used my blends. And we're just going to cut out. It doesn't matter on this because it has a wide border. Doesn't matter if you cut off some of the grey. You don't have to be too precise with this one. It's not a delicate fussy cut. And it really doesn't take long. For the intricate sets, I like to get the die cuts that go with them. Makes it so much quicker just to pop it through the big shot. And you might remember this set was in the Occasions catalogue this year, but of course I didn't buy it while it was on the Occasions catalogue. I've only bought it recently. It was one of those sets that I thought, oh, I don't know if I would use that. And then you start to see what everybody else is making with it and think, oh wow, I need that one. So there we go, that's all cut out. Next we need the smaller piece of crumb cake, and we're going to do the background stamping. And for that I've used the Rooted in Nature set, and I've chosen this leaf because I thought it looked like a rose leaf. And so I've got my Versamark ready and my little stamp. And then you'll see from the card that you don't actually need the leaves to be everywhere. I've sort of done a swathe corner to corner, and I think that's plenty. Let's just move that along a tiny bit. And then I just stamped randomly. And the thing with Versamark is you stamp it and you think, oh, I can't really see that. But as it dries, it darkens and it takes on the tone of the card. You see how it's starting to darken up. There's not a pattern that you have to do for this. Just stamp so that you will see some of the leaves peeping out under your flower. Yeah, that's enough. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next is use a gel pen to make these little spots. And I saw this little idea a long time ago, must be about 2-3 years ago. Somebody had started putting little white spots and it just made the background pop a tiny bit. Stampin' Up don't do a gel pen. I just picked this one up. I think I picked it up at Michael's. And what I do is just 3 little dots together. Just randomly, wherever you think it will look nice. So if you know somebody who sort of invented this idea, let me know and I'll give them credit on the video. But I've seen it lots of times and with lots of different colours as well. But the white one just seems to bring the card to life a little bit. There we go. You can always put more on when you've got the rose attached and you think, oh, you know, there's a little gap there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just attach this to our very vanilla layer. You can use any adhesive that works for you. Just line it up, giving yourself a nice border all the way around. And then I've used some of the burlap ribbon. I think this was in the Christmas catalogue maybe. But I just thought it went well with the crumb cake. You could use a coloured ribbon, that would look nice as well, or something like the vintage crochet ribbon that we sell. And to attach this, I'm putting a little bit of fast fuse in the middle because I know you won't see that, my flower will be over it. And then on the back, a little bit more fast fuse just to get the ribbon to glue down. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to attach my rose. You might just be able to tell that I've put Wink of Stella in the middle and just on the leaf. If I'd had more time, I think I would also have put little bits where the darker pink pirouette is. I might have put a little bit of Wink of Stella there just to make it stand out. We're going to attach this with some of the dimensionals, just so that it stands proud of that ribbon and you're not trying to stick it down flat. There we go. Be careful if you do use our blends, as you'll see that it bleeds through our card paper, and it's always best to use them on something that you're cutting out or you've got another piece of card behind, so that they don't bleed through into your card. It doesn't look very nice if you open a card and it's got all of this ink showing through. Okay. I'm just going to sort of position it in the middle, but a little bit towards the bottom so that I've got room at the top for my sentiment. There we are. And let me see what colour I like it to go on. So here's the crumb cake like I made it on before. And then here it is with the pink. Ooh. Ooh, I don't know now. I think I'll go with the pink. Okay, now just looking at the little white gel dots, I seem to have a gap here. So I'm going to put a few more little gel dots there, just near this little leaf, and at the bottom of that leaf, just down here as well. You can go a little bit overboard with these and think, oh, there's a gap, but you really don't need to. It's just to make a little texture, a little background. Okay. So I'm going to attach this to my pink. Just use my bone folder to put that down. It's not very flat. There we go. Okay, and you will have a nice little border again all the way around. Go. And then my little sentiment on here, I've used the Always Thinking of You, which is on the Beautiful Day set, this one here. And I wanted to have just a little sentiment that went across, just across here, and to pennant the ends. Now, if you've seen me before, I always like to know if I have enough space before I cut the pennant piece. I'm actually going to make that just a little bit shorter. It doesn't need to be quite that long. And then I just cut in the middle and cut each corner to the middle. One side and then the other. And it gives you a nice little pennant. And I'm going to attach that with the dimensionals as well. Probably just put 3 on the back. If you wanted to have an oval or one of the little banners, that would work as well. Just measure the space that you need here before you attach your flower. I knew I was only putting a narrow little pennant on, so that would work. But you could put your flower higher up and have the pennant here at the bottom. It really is up to you. Let's put that on straight. There we go. And then I have some of the new little pearls from the Share What You Love suite. And I know this isn't pink pirouette, but I think when it's on the card you can't really tell. I'm just going to pop 1 up here and then 2 in this gap at the bottom so that it doesn't look quite so empty there. If you don't want to put pearls on, you could use our Diamante rhinestones, or you could print some more of the little rose petals down here. That would look pretty too. And then on the inside, all I've put is a little piece of cream card, and I used crumb cake to print the rose leaves on. And I tried on this one to print another one of the roses, but to be honest, I didn't really like it, so I don't think I would do that again. I think I would just stick with the leaves. So there you have it, quick little card using just 2 stamp sets, the Rooted in Nature for the leaves and the Beautiful Day. Tiny little bit of fussy cutting, and then I'll put a little card in here with another one of the rose leaves, and pop that into my collection ready to send. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give it a try. Bye bye for now.